Yup, you read the title. We're talking about this masterpiece again. Again, just like with Zach's video, King's video might provide some more context, even more so this time. It'll sum up any important existing characters. It would also help to watch Zach's video before this, because there's a returning character from that one. Gonna say this one is amazing also. Obviously. Spoiler warning for later Housepets chapters. If you can get past how, a few comments at the start are boring, it's great afterwards. Joel's introduction is when it starts getting good. And stays good. Okay, let's talk Marion. He's pretty average, I guess. In high school, gonna go to college eventually. Wakes up in his bed and notices his hand is fluffy. Realizes he's turned into a squirrel. Tries to call his mom, but gets no response on the phone and can't leave a voicemail. Tries to move his backpack, but it's bigger than him. He also learns this didn't happen to anyone else. He tries to convince himself he's hallucinating, but can't reach the car wheel. He wears a bracelet his girlfriend Lois gave him after finally giving up trying to convince himself he's hallucinating. Tries to text her and tell her what happened, but she doesn't believe him. So finds out he's a girl squirrel. Biologically, he still identifies as a male, though he can hardly reach food and starts trying to find a way to turn himself back, but after 3 hours of work, he finds nothing. His mom comes in and also doesn't believe him, and shows the little squirrel outside. But even worse, Kevin, a police dog, chases him up a tree. While in the tree, Sergeant Ralph, another police dog, scolds Kevin for chasing squirrels while on duty. He asks them for help, and Kevin suggests asking Fox, who, if you didn't watch the King video, he knows more than almost anyone about King's transformation. Ralph turns him down, and another squirrel kicks Marion out of that tree. Marion heads to a treehouse to spend the night and is soon to meet Falstaff and Truck, who are spying on an old lady waiting to steal a pie she's making. Marion asks for help getting food because, well, squirrel, and he is also allergic to tree nuts. Tries to help them steal the pie so he can eat, but gets caught. But lady made it for the raccoons, and Marion gets it delivered to them. But they brought it to the home that Jessica got built for her. Jessica's a possum, and Keen's a very rich ferret. He built it. He had that house built. I do want to talk about him in the future. It's a good place to stay, though, for our little squirrel. Jessica does not believe him either, but is familiar with the possibility of it, due to Craig and Drake, two Fox siblings who were formerly Pete the Griffin and Dragon the Dragon. Watch the King video to learn more. He keeps getting bothered when he tries to sleep, but eventually has to talk to Herman Stewart, former human as well, got cursed by touching some treasure that was thrown at him, turning him into a badger. He wants to speak to Marion in the morning, but he overhears Herman and Jessica arguing about the Equal Chance program, which is run by Keen, and their whole thing is giving animals human rights. Arguing upsets him, and he tells them he doesn't care what it is and just wants his human life back. Herman delivers a line that is burned into my memory now. I think it's really good, so if you want to see it, read the comic. But now Lois knows something happened to her boyfriend. She still does not believe he's a squirrel, but at least something happened. She lies about her relationship, claiming she's a relative, so they take her more seriously. And Fox is on the case along with Fido, which I also want to talk about. They check Jessica's home, which she shuts down. Karashad, a fox, guides Marion through the hidden basement to a hidden exit, but right at the exit, he's grabbed by his girlfriend. Marion tries to convince her it's him, but can't. Not even with the story, only the two of them know. He breaks down crying, showing that he feels genuinely distressed in failing to prove who he is. She believes him now. Fox and Fido, I must mention, are good cops for this case. They're both familiar with magic. Watch the King video. And thankfully, Fox knows a bit of what to do. Fox calls King, who might know how to prove Marion's identity, in which he succeeds, but finds no explanation as to why this happened. King thinks he can make a thing out of this to essentially get Marion his life back as a squirrel. He's reunited with his mother and actually convinced her with Keen's assistance. He's returned to school, and some dude tries to steal Lois from him and fails. Marion keeps being questioned and can't even use the bathroom, instead falling in the toilet. Heads outside, removes the tiny clothes made for him to dry. Feels out of place and like the world is against him, but Lois has his back. She decides to bring him to the zoo to speak with another human-turned-animal, specifically the one who chucked cursed treasure at Herman, Thomas Milton, who was just really jealous of Keen. He's a camel at the zoo now, and throws things at Thomas from a tree and bites him to get him to talk. Thomas was very unhelpful, instead convincing himself that Keen is planning on turning everyone into animals. But that's just Thomas. Marion got nothing from this. He goes back to Lois, but she's been turned into a lynx. Now Marion is also believing the crazy stuff Thomas said, and Lois has to stop him and calm him down. They borrow one of the wolves' motorcycle, and that wolf drives them to Keen's home, and have a little talk about Marion. Feels like he's not enough and on the way, and he's reassured. When they arrive, though, Lois tackles Keen. After all, it is their currently only lead as to what happened. Keen's pretty confused, though. He explains the cursed gold I mentioned, though. Then he mentioned Kitsune. Watch the King video. And Lois demands to see him. Kitsune is with King right now for some reason. He says some stuff that makes no sense and stuff. And they find out someone intentionally cursed them. Couldn't be that treasure, could it? Wait, yeah, it's Herman. He has that little gold coin, and once the cops catch him, he reveals his genius plan. He's been doing that to people to try and get Keen to spend all his money on it to help them. He's trying to bankrupt his former boss. That's his plan. Marion blames Herman's petty plot on Keen while Herman breaks free and escapes. Keen takes it. After all, he could have listened to Herman before this all happened. 6 months later, it's the aftermath of Christmas. It's only sometimes that Marion misses being human, and he's adapted pretty well. He still has Lois, and that's where I'm ending it. Thank you for watching.